pests. Now, around a month and a half ago, halfway through November, Hypixel Skyblock added a pest update. Basically adding pests that spawn randomly throughout when you are farming. The more pests you have, the more farming fortune they take from you. When you get to 4 pests on your island, that's when the farming fortune starts taking into full effect. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, you can lose up to 50 to 75% of your farming fortune just by not claiming these pests. Now, to claim them, you just need a vacuum of any kind, which you get from speaking to these guys. They'll tell you to go to the shop and you can get it. And you start with a regular one, which does 100 damage. And then the higher level you have, the more damage you have. In theory, you kill them a lot quicker. Basically, that's how it works. Now, as you can see up here, I have 2. It says the garden, and it has a little that's the pest symbol, by the way, and it has ×2. So I have 2 pests on my garden right now. So I can come over to the plots where they are. You can see one here. I right click and this thing spawns and shows me where it is. It's pretty good. Whoa, he jumped really high. Holding right click will allow me to start to vacuum into the vacuum. I'll either call it a vacuum or a hopper. It's just the way I do things. Like it is a hopper, but it is a vacuum. Okay, I forget. And then eventually, after you collect a few in your vacuum bag, you will have X amount. You can give this back to the guy over here, and you will get rewarded farming fortune for giving him pests. So not only do you get your farming fortune back just from collecting them, you get extra farming fortune for X amount of time for giving him these guys things. So it's actually really good when it comes to farming contests or anything like that. If you have a contest you want to do a little bit better by boosting in, you give him the pests and there you go. And if you don't really want pests to spawn or anything like that, you can get something called a pest repellent, which is, if you ever played the Pokemon games, like the repellent things, basically, as it says here, you can use it. They do not stack, and for the next 60 minutes with the max repellent, will take 4 times as long for pests to spawn. So you can still get them, but they take 4x the amount of time to spawn. Now, whilst farming, me personally, I find you don't get a crazy amount of pests. Obviously, with the repellent, I find within, like, depending on the day, could be anywhere from an hour and a half to 2.5 hours to when I get 4 or 5 pests, and then I go around, clear them all up, or as many as I can see, and then basically start back again. So it's every hour and a half, 2 hours that I have to actually worry about them. So it's not actually that bad in terms of like how much time I have to take away from farming to focus on them. But the issue is we have to take away time from farming. Now, I understand that the pest update, you know, as I said earlier, adds a bestiary. It does give you a little bit extra farming fortune sometimes and things like that. And it's something different in the game. Like, I'm pretty sure 99% of players would rather a foraging update or something combat related, or even hell, another mining thing. Even though we just had a really good mining update with like the insta unlocking of chests and things like that. Like I'm pretty sure that's like one of the later ones. But, like, yeah, I mean, I say it on my streams pretty much every day, like, especially when I'm farming, like, I would much rather like a foraging update, like a smaller one that's, you know, tailors towards it to push me to grind my foraging skill, because I do not grind foraging because it is not that fun for me. Now, obviously, as an Iron Man profile, I will grind all these other skills and stuff. I just prefer farming and mining, but I will admit mining's become a bit more enjoyable for me since this new pest update. I know I must reiterate that it's not the end of the world. It's not the worst thing they've ever done, but the reasons they've done it, which are pretty clear and obvious, is to stop macros. Now, how well did that work? In, I think, literally the next 2, 3, 4 days, the macros had already worked out how to upgrade, like, work the pests into their code. So it didn't really hold them back for long, and now we've all got to do this for that reason. Now, I very much learned to live with it over the past 6 weeks. I'm not, again, terribly against it, but the biggest thing that is annoying for me is I've got to make all my farms pest resistant now. Like, I've got to turn all my farms into as little hassle as possible, because my farms are multi-layered. If I quickly fly all the way over here for you, you'll see that my farms are multi-layered, and sometimes makes it a pain in my left butt cheek to go all the way down into those areas and get them. Now, I will admit I have been relatively lucky. 99% of pests that spawn do spawn on top. I might have to, like, try and find them in the sugarcane or something, but that's pretty much it. And also, if you can't find them and you have the resources, you can always just turn your plot into bedrock. The pests will fall down onto the bedrock, kill them up, and then you turn it back. I've not done that fully with one yet. I've not had to, but we are in the process of turning our farms into fully pest resistant farms. In saying that, we need a lot more compost. Now, if you're struggling to find where your pests are, all you have to do is go to your desk. You can have a /desk command. I do not know if this needs a cookie to work. I haven't tried it without one. I'm going to go on a limb and say it does need a cookie, because most commands do. But basically, it just allows you to use your desk while you are in your garden. You have to be in your garden for it to work. You cannot do this in the hub or anything. And if you go to configure your plots and hover over what they are called, you'll see under the names of them, this plot has a pest. This plot does not. So you pretty quickly find where the pest is in terms of the plot. And then it spawns you underneath it. And here you go. Now, typically, if you are quick enough, let me try it again. You can teleport on top of the plot. I think that's it there. Yeah, these guys are the worst pets, by the way. These guys are the worst. Now, I'm doing this during derpy, so everything's health is doubled. So these guys are actually the worst things to try and kill, because you get them down to 700 odd health and then they teleport, and you got to try and find them quick enough that their health don't spawn. Okay, the thing was over here. I can't see it. It's a pain in my ass. He's over here now. I think he's underneath. That's annoying. So yeah, basically we're going to have to redesign all of our farms, which will be in a video, I'm pretty sure soon, or I'll touch upon it when I do it. Yeah, it's kind of just like, we can obviously tell this was put in place to like try and stop macros as much as possible. And it hasn't really worked. All it's done is made the game in general like just a bit more annoying for people that want to just sit there and farm all day. And as I said earlier, it's not the end of the world. It is what it is. Like, farming in general is still fun. It's just the fact that you have to like spend a bit of time every now and then killing all these things, and especially during derpy, kind of annoying with the worms, because you know, they just don't like to stay in one place. Why? So now, I'm not one for complaining too much. I do try and see the glass half full, or I'm at least happy there's something in the glass at all, you know what I mean? Like, I genuinely understand that they're trying to stop macros. I get that, and this could have been in the plans for a long time, and they've just gone, do you know what, let's just push it forward, and that can help, maybe, whatever it may be. You know, there are benefits to it with the bestiary and with also the extra farming fortune that you get here. It's a small bit of annoyance in, you know, a farming category that is actually kind of overpowered at the moment anyway, because of how much money you can make from this. We went from like having to grind Taras and Arachnes and grinding the ends to just, now my advice when people ask is, oh yo, just set up a garden, because it's just easy, quick, and you can make like 10 million an hour relatively quickly when setting this stuff up. But as you can see here, I'm working on getting 2 things in a row so that I can set up a pest farm, or, you know, as good as possible. So this is going to take a bit of time. I need loads of compost, because it doubles each one of these you need, sort of thing. So we're just grinding the compost for that. While it's derpy, we're grinding our alchemy level up right now. I think we started derpy at alchemy level 30. We're level 32 at the moment, but for the past few days, we've been grinding the hell out of sugarcane. Not spent as much time during derpy as I liked, because it's been Christmas and obviously family time and that sort of thing. But we're back on it now. And talking about Christmas, Merry Christmas. I hope you all had a good Christmas. I hope your year has been good so far. We're coming up to the end of 2023, and 2024 is looking very exciting. I only have one question for you. Do you think the Pest update is a W or an L? Let me know in the comments down below what you like about it, what you don't like about it, where your mind sits with it. I don't think it's the worst update. I've very much learned to live with it, and I think once I get these new farms in, it'll be a lot easier for me. But as I said, with the pest repellent, I'm not exactly crazy bothered by them, because like, it's only every 2 hours or so I have to like go out of my way to get them. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's completely free to do so, and it genuinely helps me out so much. Guys, I hope you have had a good start to your holidays, And yeah, I will see you soon. Take it easy. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, maybe check these ones out here.